Nice kick off there, back into the 22. Big number 1 for ACT. That's been a Dritty, takes it forward. Unloads just out of the tackle there. ACT in control of the ball in their in their own 22. Back it goes. The fullback, Brendan Jimenez, doesn't find his touch. Being brought back by number 14.
He certainly can play that, Jimenez.
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah, he's got great feet, hasn't he?
Disappointing. He was the talk of the town last year that he didn't make that schoolboy side, and the first game he's had here in the tournament has been outstanding. As the VICs, after their big win yesterday, or not yesterday, 2 days ago, looking to go 2 from 2 here at Riverview as ACT through Jimenez. Looks like he may have isolated. Yes, he has. And Victoria down that short side. Big bustling run by Tuipulotu. And he has scored the opening try here on day 3 of the Aussie Schoolboys Champs. What a try by Mosi Tuipulotu.
Yeah, look, just a turnover, quick turnover there. They reacted quickly, went down that short side. And Mosi Tuipulotu, he's the brother of the Melbourne Rebels, Sione Tulupu. And he came to the last line of defence and just boomfed it out of the way, and over he went for the first score of the day. The big man down that short side and just boomf him out of the way and scores in the corner. Lovely start for the Victorians.
And what a win this would be if the Vics could get this one. I think they lost by about 80 points in day 1.
Yeah, it's amazing turnaround, isn't it? I mean, they've really obviously they were a bit shell-shocked by the New South Wales side early, but they've come right back into this tournament, and as I said earlier, the selection of the Australian schoolboys would be well and truly on these boys' minds, and they've got to put their best foot forward, and this is an opportunity to do that.
Here's Haddad, who's calling for the tee. If you just see some pics there of the ACT boys, a bit shell-shocked here on day 3 of the Schoolboys Champs.
That's probably not the start they wanted. You know, they came out, they looked very well prepared. I watched them warm up. They were certainly into this encounter. So quiet bench too at this moment, the ACT.
And a pretty chilly one. Both teams here would be used to these conditions. A cool morning here at St Ignatius College. Strikes good, but just to the left, so no change to the score. 5-0 to Victoria over the ACT. Michael Doyle, Adam Fry here for Rugby.com.au. Doyley, you enjoy all forms of rugby, but especially this sort of Colts and schoolboy level. The level of skill from these kids this year has just been incredible.
Yeah, look, it just gets better and better, Adam, as you know, as the years go on, and from when, you know, years ago when I was at school to now, the body shapes have changed, the physicality of the guys have changed, the speed of the game has changed. Rugby union, the game itself at this level is excellent, and the kids love it, so it's great to see it.
As the ACT go with this one-out style of running, ball to the back and played now, and it's gone, pass has gone backwards, but they'll play a knock on either way. So with line speed, which Victoria just showed there, getting off the line and getting in the faces of the ACT does cause the passes to go back and rattle the cage a bit. So again, a good start to Victoria, dominating this opening play.
For our audience that aren't in Sydney at the moment, we had a foggy morning here, so the ground is a bit wet underfoot, and you could see there the ball was slipping through a few hands there. So the team that hangs onto the ball will be the team that gets the best of the first half. As
the ball is fed to a dominant Brumby scrum coming there, and here's that man Tuipulotu taking it to the line, and a good hard run there by Lambert Crichton. And again, Victoria, good little jink there by McGrover, who's tackled well, but a penalty to the Vics.
Yeah, deliberate knockdown there by their number 11.
Well, that was
ACT.
Genuinely a deliberate knockdown, Doyle, and I'm not liking this new way of policing an attempt to intercept is a deliberate knockdown. It's crept into the game of late. I don't like it.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because over the last couple of weeks, I coached the Eastern Suburbs Colts, and in the last couple of weeks, the referees have been a bit more lenient on it, which I think is a good thing. If you actually tap the ball up and you're actually going for the intercept and the ball is tapped up, they've been better on that, and only giving a knock on as it should be. So don't jump on it just yet. Let's see how it progresses for the next couple of weeks in the season.
Certainly not a direct crack at the referees. They're playing the book to the letter of the law.
Yep.
As the VICs here looking to extend their lead of 5 points over the ACT, who actually won the Australian Schoolboys Championships here last year. Short arm penalty. What will they do? They quickly tap and go. And they feed it out now to the try scorer, Tui Blutu. Long ball place. Good stuff and good attack here by the VICs. Bit of a loose pass there by Hunt, who seems to have recovered well, and he feeds it off again as the VICs good one out running. Good shift there for the hooker, Carter. Short ball. And again, just chiseling through there is McGrovern. There's Hunt. Hunt feeding one, and just a clanger there by Tuipulotu. Pass was out in front of him, but the ACT counter straight away as they propel forward with Changtung. And they look to get it out of their D zone, and they do. A high kick, pressure's on. ACT come up with the ball. Good play by ACT, but they've turned it over, and they'll go back for the original knock on. So some exciting play there, and just love how these kids just want to play, Michael. They get the ball and off a turnover, and they think to attack first, which is what Australian rugby wants. We want to see attacking rugby, and both teams looking to chance their arm here this morning.
Number 16 for the ACT, Licky Changtung. He's a big man. He was striving forward there. Once he got it, his eyes lit up for a little bit of a run down that right-hand side and really drove it forward. So he's putting his best foot forward here, as coming off the bench and starting for this ACT side in this important clash between ACT and Victoria.
Good scrum by the ACT, but the ball goes back there and well to Hunt, who feeds it back into the inside to Ipalutu. He makes some meters, Hunt. Hunt feeding one out runners. Vic's looking pretty strong here. And a good carry there by Tuiala, who makes some pretty good meters off a standing start. Here come the Vics back on the inside. Another ball. Tuipulotu just dropping it cold, and the hole was there.
He's had that moment in the sun early, and his next two touches haven't been too good, so he'll just settle down. They're just testing each other out. It's interesting, the ACT scrum dominating here, but the Victorian boys have obviously get rid of the ball very, very quickly out of their scrums. They don't want to have it in there, and so they shouldn't. Get it out, get it to the good-looking backs, and see what the backs can do. We have an injury here.
He was so far back, just fell into him. So you got to bring your feet up, hold your own weight.
Looks like a hand injury or a shoulder injury there.
We don't want to see that.
Nah.
I like how we can tune in and listen to the referees too. I think that's the best part of the innovation of not only here on Rugby.com.au, but with Fox Sports, being able to hear the referees and giving the feedback to players, because it actually gives the fan and the punter an idea of what's going through all the players' minds and the referee. And I think the officiating in this tournament, firstly, the first 2 days, Doyle, has been really strong. So
yeah,
well done to our refs. They do a great job as ACT now with the ball. This is where you want to be. Midfield, centre field. One side stacked, and then play off that first phase as the referee calls it up. Gee, there's some big kids up front. I'd be no chance as a schoolboy. I was just thinking, looking back, I think I was about 80 kilos playing hooker at school. And
you would have to be a halfback, Adam. Come and join us, mate. Come and join us.
I think I'd be almost the water boy, or maybe even a referee. But these kids are very powerful and very talented as the ACT now feed.
Big right-hand side here for ACT.
Penalty. They go quickly. Short side now, and here's Jimenez. Put on a bit of beef since last year. A good tackle there by, I think that was Kearns. Bridging over the ball now, ACT. They'll pick and go, and they do so. And a big, strong run there. And it is turned over, and Vics go streaming ahead, and a good carry and a good turnover there by Stone. Looks like he's isolated. They've come through the gate. No. Gee, look at the energy of the Victorians. They are absolutely pumped. And I tell you what, I like the play there of Liam Stone. Got the pilfer and carried as well. So, and that's the new breed of number 7 in Australian rugby. You've got to be able to carry, you've got to be able to pilfer the ball and almost, you know, play that 6 role in a line out. So,
and you've got to be able to accelerate too. He accelerated away there that got him into the space that got them into this position to receive this penalty. And that's one of the great things, you know, about an open side breakaway. If you've got one that can do those 3 things that Adam said, you really are, you're leading. And I've just noticed he's been hovering and hovering and hovering, and that time he made the difference.
Come in.
and he looks like he's got a bit of rat bag in him too, so that helps as a 7 as the Victorians go off the top and 1 out running, and they feed now, and a good strong run there by Kaylee. Ball at the back. Hunt feeds it on to McGrover, who's had plenty of play in here, and they've just flirted with that touchline and gone out. But the pressure is still on as the ACT looks like he's got a bit of a stinger in the back there. That's Atkins, the halfback.
Jumping around there. I just got a couple of interesting facts here on Liam Stone, Adam, for you. He was born in the Netherlands. For the 12 years of age, he'd lived in 5 countries: Belgium, Barbados, USA, England and Canada. Then he settled in Australia, and he was only introduced to rugby 5 years ago. So he's going well, the lad. He probably doesn't know where he is, but he's going well.
He's got some skill and he's got some frequent fly points as the ball is held up by the Vics here. And that should be a turnover. Referee's letting it go, but he's had enough. And the energy of Victoria here this morning has been incredible. And what a comeback, as I say, 80-0 in the first game. They came back and beat Queensland too. If they could beat last year's champions, a huge success for Nick Henderson, the coach, and his side. So that was Hunt for ACT, I think. Just jinked there and went in and got caught by a couple of the big Victorians, and they weren't letting him go to ground. Let me tell you, they hooked onto him and held him up, and then it just drove forward, and the referee had enough of the ball not coming out and set the scrum for Victoria. He's got quite the hairdo, Hunt, as he feeds the ball in now. Strong ACT scrum, as they do there in the nation's capital. It's gone to the back. They've picked and go, and they've managed to get the ball here, Victoria, and they've gone again to Carter. Good run by the hooker, but a pass in front, but they've been able to recover well for Tabua. Good counter ruck there by the ACT, and it looks like they've turned the ball over, and they have, but they've got to get out of this part of the field, and Atkins digging out like all halfbacks do. Feeds it back to Jimenez. Bit of pressure on the fullback who's given it up wide. Are they going to run it, or they're going to have a chance? They're going to have a crack here, the ACT. And they've done very well to get out of there, and a chip through now. Has it gone into touch? Yes, it is. So some enterprising play. I think that's Haddad who's on the other side. It is. Try scorer on the opening day.
Called Hunt as the ACT captain, as the ACT halfback there. That was Atkins that was held up in that previous maul. But ACT there, I watched the ACT play New South Wales, and I thought that they kicked the ball away a fair bit when they've got some really nice, exciting outside backs. They didn't use them as much. They tried to kick and play field position, and New South Wales got the ball back and rolled over the top of them a couple of times. So if ACT can hold up the ball, they can attack.
Good line out too, and a throw by the hooker Carter, which finds the mark as they look for 1 out run. Gee, that's a solid hit in the midfield. And you hear some of these kids screaming. So they are playing some enterprising footy, but some strong defences. Victoria look to go forward through their fullback Hobbs. Hunt gives it 1 out, and another clanger to the Vics, and they go away with it, but they've said knock on both ways. So I think that's 3 turnovers now for Victoria, where they've had the ball and just simply dropped it. So a frustrated Nick Henderson, I'm sure, but
well, I don't think both coaches would be too happy with the ball control, would you? I mean, they've turned it over. Victoria went down this right-hand side and went into the ruck and lost that ball. You know, they're the opportunities you've got to keep and got to make sure of. And the team that kind of switches on first and controls this ball could take some control of this game in this first half, I think, with 13 minutes already gone.
Yeah, hold your weight here, okay? Falling off your feet.
I like how the referee... I do love listening to the conversation with front rowers trying to negotiate their point of view. Some of them brighter than others, but this ACT pack here, absolute monsters. And on the tight end side here, big troubles for Victoria, but it is their ball now as Atkins feeds it in, and a long arm penalty, so Victoria not being able to withstand that pressure. And now the momentum seems to be swinging back to last year's champions as they point to the sideline.
That's I just noticed there that Apensia Dritti, the number 1 for ACT, is packing in the number 8 position. So that creates... he is a massive man, so while the ACT scrum is going forward, they've got some big men out there.
Jantung, the hooker now, finds his mark, but it goes over the top. ACT clean up through Atkins, who burrows through and makes a couple of extra metres as they look to pick and go now, the ACT, and they do so through that man you said before, Dritti, who is playing in the back row at this point, but the ball has been turned over. But they have sealed it off, according to the referee, so the Vics are hanging in there. So a good turnover, but sealed off the ruck.
Good pressure on that ball on the ground. Victoria just sniffed an opportunity there and went hard at it as the ACT side drove forward from the pick and go. I'd like to see the ACT use their backs at them. I think that's where they've got the pace and the ability out there. Let's get rid of these forwards and get some good-looking backs handling the ball.
They're doing an okay job at the moment. They've chiselled their way all the way up to the field as ACT throw through Jantung, and it's a turnover. So maybe disrespecting the 3 points could come back to bite ACT as Hunt feeds it back, and a kick has gone out. Yes, it has, and that was McGrover who's jumped in the 10 jersey. Quick line out. ACT finds Jimenez. Jimenez kicks it across field, and no real pressure or chases there as Vic goes straight through, and they run now through Fiona. And great run there by the winger. High tackle, so advantage being played. Long arm.
Mark's there. Mark's there. 14.
Fiona was...
and it's a quick tap. Sorry there,
yeah, go for it, Adam.
Stone goes through and takes the quick tap, and they motor forward. So all the momentum here now with the Vics. Hunt finds his runners, and they go streaming through. That's Tuiala, who's met well by the ACT. Good, strong tackle there. Hunt now finding the ball and looks for his Tim McGrover as they get to Tuipulotu. Bit of a jink there by Tuipulotu, the St. Kevin's prodigy. Hunt now looks to go against the grain to his forwards, and a good run there, but a good tackle by the ACT. Latched onto the ball, but still clean for the Vics, and they go through now to Tuiala again. Looking strong now, Tuipulotu. Out now to McGrover, who throws a beautiful ball around the back, and there's that man against Stone, the 7, looking out in the outside flank. Pick and go, but a little knock on there. But hey, Victoria having a crack here in the first half of the, really is that southern zone of rugby schoolboy championships.
Some great play there, a break down that left-hand side by Haloti Fonua. He is Australian under-18 sevens team. He showed a clean pair of heels down that left-hand side, was picked up well by the ACT, but Victoria well on the attack and really applying most of the footy. You'd have to say that they've taken it to this ACT side, and their energy and their go forward has been excellent. So we've got a game on our hands here, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's Atkins, who looks to feed him, but referee's going to have a chat to the front row. Let's have a listen in.
We've had 2 penalties now against you. We've had 2 free kicks. We need to see a change in the next scrum, okay? Need height up.
Let me just repeat what he said. He said, yeah, all right, yeah. So he's got the feedback. He's going to go pass that on to his teammates.
Yep.
And
See, I'm so lucky to have you sitting next to me because you can explain what his answers meant.
No, I do.
What did they actually mean, Adam?
It just means keep your scrum up and you'll be right. So, but it's the right thing to do. Ref's done the right call there. ACT taking the ball beautifully at the back there. Atkins feeds it out to some one-out runners as ACT first phase attack's been very good in this tournament, except for this one. It's gone straight into the touchline. And you can hear the Victorian bench going ballistic down here.
Up out of their chairs they are, the Victorians. They were very happy with that. That's the first time the ACT is, after I praised their backs, and they throw it into touch. So it's the Mike Doyle mocker working on the ACT backs there.
Charlie Carter throws it short, taken by the ACT, and met with some strong defence. So Atkins manning his troops, getting a shield, all on side. ACT, not the greatest kick, but it does get them out of trouble, about just on 35 metres out. So Carter needs to find the mark here. All territory in the way of Victoria as they approach the line out.
It's funny because the ACT are dominating the set piece. So let's have a look at this one.
That's a better line out for Victoria. It's fed down to Hunt. Hunt finds McGrover into Tupalutu. Here's the number 8, Carly. Gee, that's a good strong carry there by David. The tight head prop who goes to deck. Seven's in the way. Needs to roll away, and he does. Hunt with the ball now. Stripped tackle, so referee calling it there. And the ACT now have the ball. And Jimenez says, I'm out of here. Kicks it down deep. And good work there by Sabura, who gets back down there. Here come the Vics. Beautiful little chink there by Victoria. This kid can play. Fonua. He had a great break before. You could just tell then he had lightning feet. Victoria looking the better in this first half as they tip the ball on. And a good, solid tackle by the ACT, who counter well, and if they got the ball, no. But advantage being played. Hunt with the ball. An advantage for 4 off his feet, but they look to play the advantage. They're down this short side now. A great run by Fuana. I spoke about him before. He digs, he dives. Back on the inside, Victoria. Oh! What a entertaining facet of play there. I like the look of this 14, but they're all there, Doyley. They just couldn't make that last catch. It would have been one of the tries of the tournament. But let's have a look at the replay here. Gee, they look good, Victoria, in this first half.
Oh, mate, that was just beautiful play. They had the advantage. ACT went on the back step thinking they'd take the advantage, but no way. Victoria wants to play. They don't want to go to set piece. They want to open it up, and that last pass just not going to hand. He had a clear run to the line too. The number 11, David Fangatu. Disappointing there, but Fungatua, is it? Thank you, Adam. I apologise to the listeners on my pronunciations. I'm not good at that, but Adam will correct me every time.
No, that's all right. And that was that man, Dritty, who's been wearing the number 1 jersey here for the ACT and playing at number 8. He was the one that got back and really chased that down. So the prop forward playing number 8 was the man that got in there and really disrupted that almost certain try. Victoria 5, ACT 0 on 22 minutes. So we've got around about 7 minutes to go in this first half. As a bit of maintenance to the ACT lock. Mickelson. Michael, I'm thinking Victoria still have some points in here. If they don't score in this half, all the momentum that's been their way, they need a reward for it.
I think you're right there. I think they've kind of caught ACT napping. I think once ACT talks to their coach and irons out a couple of things, they'll come at them in the second half. So, yeah, a try here would certainly benefit the Victorians, and they're hungry for it. They're really up for this game, and they're looking forward to have a crack here now.
The ACT scrum dominating this game. Referee had a chat before to the Vics about their scrum and keeping it up. And
It's a better scrum by Victoria. They hung in there that time.
They've done well, and good tackle there in the midfield, but falls off. So a good carry there by ACT. I think that's Peters, it is. At outside centre, but they've turned it over. No. Hands in the ruck.
These penalties are hurting Victoria as they're pinning ACT down in their own territory, but they're letting them out with these penalties, and ACT takes full advantage of that. That's a lovely kick out. That is a ripper. That puts ACT into the Victorian half. And another more pressure on their set piece here. Their last line out was good, Victoria. But ACT can go on the attack here.
Here's Shantung with the throw. Ball coming into him from his front row teammate. Taken well by Mickelson, who now feeds it, sees it back in the inline. Gee, this kid can carry. That's Dritty. The front rower playing number 8. Going back down the short side. Don't think that ball was for him. Good counter ruck by Victoria. ACT getting back in numbers. Is it a turnover? Ball fed back. Well done there by the ACT. Here's Dritty again. A bit of a jink. Offloading. And now down this open side. Good carry there by Haddad. And leg drive. Presents the ball well to his 9, Atkins, who feeds it out. Victoria getting off this line and trying to do some damage, but these carries from the ACT really hurting him. That's Shartung. Atkins now looking to go back down the short side. He does, and met with some real strong contact there. Good tackle by Charlie Carter.
We have a dad down there in the background, I think.
Will play on there, Jimenez, as he does. Jinks and jives and offloads. Another great tackle there by Carter. He's had 2 rippers in a row, the hooker. Atkins feeding out back on the inside. That's Chartung again. He's had about 3 carries in this facet of play. Atkins looking for runners. Here's Scott, the number 8. Met with contact. Good seal, ACT. Not making too many metres, but doing well. Dritty. Good long ball placed by Dritty. And here they go back down this open side. Great carry there by Shartung. He enjoys a run, as does this man here. That's Mick Ellie. Atkins feeding Leofano, who throws it back on the inside. Not going anywhere, ACT. Good defence by Victoria, but the ACT recycling well, looking for some pay with all these phases of play.
ACT just running into where the Victorian defence is. I'd like to see it go a bit wider.
Here's Jimenez. Looks to go behind the ruck and do it himself, but he's met with Tuipulotu.
He was just hesitant there, and he's got his knees to the ground. They'll have to release him there.
Is that ball out? There they are, yep. And crossfield kick from Leo Leofano. It's a good one. So they had a good crack at getting through the Victorians and weren't able to, but that was the right option. But here come the Vics, and they've gone very well now, and it's a good carry here through Tuiala, and they've met it again. Here's this back row genius of Stone, who's taken beautiful ball off the deck by Stone. He gets back to his feet, finds the breakdown. Victoria looking for another try before half-time. They look to send it wide. Tuipulotu kicks it through, looking for territory and possession back now. ACT doing the hard work, and they've gone through in a good carry here. And this is a big swing of events. There's been about 30 phases the last 5 minutes. Here's Fonuna, who beats the first defender easily, and a good carry there. Players out on their feet this last 5 minutes. Here's Hunt, chips it through, no one at home. Here come the Vics. Well taken now. Right foot stab, brings it back downfield. And now Victoria doing the cleaning up through this workhorse, Liam Stone, who gets back there and a jink and jive, and he's off running. Beats 2 tacklers and finds his outside centre, Crichton, who gasses down this blind side. Here comes Crichton. Beautiful ankle tap, but he gets to his feet. Stone still supporting. Can they score, the Vics? Stone deserves it. Knocked backwards now. Canberra have got it again. This is end-to-end rugby here. The Vics desperately looking for some more points here in the first half. They look to counter, and the referee blows it up. He might even go to his pocket, and he does. The last 5 minutes, Michael Doyle has had absolutely everything.
Oh, that's incredible schoolboy footy, and that's what we love. It's just open. There was changeovers, there was turnovers, there was kicks with no one at home, and chased, and players getting back. And as we see Stone here going back and retrieving, then he threw a beautiful pass to his outside centre. This cover defence here from the big man, I think it's 17, is it? Number 17 for Victoria. He saved a certain try. Tuala. And then the Vics kept rolling on here, and then a great turnover by ACT, and then what I'd say was a silly thing to do, Adam, the clean out from the side.
Oh, just pure frustration.
Yeah, his side didn't need him in the bin for 10 minutes. This could be, this could really hurt Victoria.
I'm just seeing these players out on their feet, and you can even hear the acoustics coming from the ref mic. The ref mic looks like he's running at 220 heart rate.
Yeah, well, they covered a lot of ground, didn't he?
Mate, that was just incredible. And what about I was rapping the Victorians about their enterprising play, but that resilience of the ACT defence just getting back there, and it's not their breakaways getting back there, it's their front row forwards.
That was a fantastic. He had only one option, to dive and to ankle tap him, and he got it. So good on him.
I'll have to replace that divot out there.
Yeah,
he took a huge one, but
he did grind to a halt after he got the Victorian outside centre there, who had made that breakdown, Lambert to Crichton. He's been in everything. The outside centre for Victoria. He loves carrying the ball, and some just really good defence by ACT saves it. And here he is, the big number 17 in cover. He's got a dive. He dived full length and perfectly timed that. And Lambert Crichton didn't think he was going to get got. So that was perfect. So a line out here to the ACT.
If it was a halfback, no replay required.
No. I noticed that the front rowers get the replays. He's sitting closer to the technicians here, so not to worry.
Not to worry, but Victoria got a bit to worry about now. They've got 14 men out there. And ACT win it well through Rory Scott, and Atkins feeds Lealiafano. First fade, great tackle by Victoria. A little bit isolated, but ACT been able to get there. Can they keep their feet? They do.
That was that man Lambert Crichton again, number 13 for Victoria. He's in everything.
And straight back out and finds his position outside centre. So good kick now to...
Right. Incoming, Adam. Be careful there, son. It's a dangerous game, this rugby. I've just copped the ball right in the noggin. No problems, no sense, no feeling.
Looks like it might have knocked you out there for a couple of seconds. Would have been an absolute blessing for our listeners. But it's halftime here. It looks like it is. And ACT trailing 5-0 to the Victorians. But what a half of rugby. I'd say this is the best one that we've seen to date. Some enterprising rugby end-to-end. And even a ball to the head for my co-commentator, Michael Doyle. And that wasn't the most entertaining thing. It was the rugby out there. Stars for mine, I think, from Victoria. Hunt, their halfback's been very, very busy. Fuana, the 14, probably the standout for the backs. And in the forwards, Liam Stone has been everywhere. An absolute workhorse. Richie McCaw-like effort from him. The ACT, they've been good as well, Michael Doyle. I think the big standout for mine is Dritty, who's the prop forward, but also playing 8 today. He's had a solid game.
He's been in everything, yeah.
Certainly has. And Shantung, the hooker, and that ankle tap, which will be playing for many, many a day.
Yep.
And that was Majaja, who's also had a strong day. So it's the big kids that are doing the job for the Brumbies, and it's the outside backs for the Victorians, up 5-0 in this Day 3 Australian Schoolboys Rugby Championship. Adam Fry and Michael Doyle here at St Ignatius College, Riverview. And the games to come, of course, New South Wales and Queensland. That will be an absolute beauty. Western Force and Combined States coming up next. And then the final day at 2:30. So we'll take a break here at Rugby.com.au. Stay tuned for the second half of this absolute belter between Victoria and the ACT. Coming up. Welcome back to St Ignatius College Riverview as Victoria in this one. Leading the ACT 5 points to 0.
Yeah, look, I think Victoria would have been disappointed with that score. I think they would have liked to have a few more points on the board there from where their field play was, where their possession was. ACT has defended well, so I think ACT flattered a little bit by the score, and we'll see what happens here.
Get things underway. 30 minutes of play. Last year's champions up against Victoria, who lost by 80 in day one. And second day, they had the win. Charged down by the ACT, but they're offside. Just give you a rundown of Victoria's carnival so far. They had the big loss in day one to New South Wales 1, and then came back against Queensland 2 and had a huge victory here just a couple of days ago, and looking to make it 2 from 2, and this time up against last year's champions, the ACT. And the ACT were strong on day one. They're a good side and led really well. Got some stars in there, Jimenez being one of them. Outstanding tournament so far this year and last year. And some of these big kids coming through the ranks now. Dritty, as well as Victoria, take it off the top from Hunt, and Hunt feeds it out, who finds now this young star of Funonu, and gas down the short side, and looks like he's just thrown it into touch, joined by Michael Doyle, expert comment and rising star coach and commentator these days.
Yeah, love it. Love anything to do with rugby union, as you know, Adam. We've been associated together for a long time. This game is right on a knife edge. I think the team that scores next could easily be the team that takes this game. So let's watch as we have this scrum. ACT dominating this area in the first half, but really not getting any benefit from their domination in it. A couple of penalties and a couple of talking tos, but I think that we might see some really heavy scrummaging by the ACT here. The big men are settling down. And
they've made some changes up front, fed in, and they've made some changes in the backs too, with Atkins now off. Jimenez bangs it down. Could be on the full, and it is. So, good set piece and a good kick, but just a little bit too far. And you see the energy from these young kids from Victoria bursting to the line out. But,
striding up there and taking that advantage there. I'd just like to see ACT hold the ball for a little while and just see them take it to this Victorian side and see if they can build some phases and build some pressure on the Victorian defence. At the moment, they're not testing it. They're just kicking the ball away.
Here's Carter to find his eye and thrown to the front through Stone, who boggles it down, but the Vics clean it up. Long ball place, a lot of players at this ruck. Here's Hunt, pick and go. So right option there, just to consolidate things a little bit. Now they're looked to with their run out in David, I think that is. He is tackled, goes to deck, long ball place. Now Victoria looking to burrow it through, and there's the advantage. And I don't know what they'll do here now, Michael. I'll be taking the points, but they keep going as Tuipulotu now with a bit of a jink and a drive and gets past one or two. Finds the deck. ACT is locked onto that ball. Looks like he might have been off his feet there. Advantage. Hunt finds Carter. And Carter flicks it out the back to David. Here come the Vics. Now down through their last line of defence, and that was Jimenez, I think, who made that last tackle. They had to make it. Victoria now on the attack through Tynan. Carter going to pick and go through his front row forward partner in David. Makes a couple of metres, but they'll go back to the original penalty.
I'm not sure he won't have a yarn here. There's been 3 penalties in ACT's red zone.
Not holding their weight, okay?
So who was on that ball?
No, first he lost his weight, and then he's spinning. When he's coming, he must go straight on the ball and not hold his weight on the ground first, okay?
Yeah, that's the right call there by the referee. Well managed.
Yep. The captain for ACT asking the question, and a clear answer coming from the referee and the ACT captain. Happy with that, and back he goes.
Tuipulotu just having a well-earned drink there. Apart from a good opening try and a couple of drop balls, he's found his groove again. So the Vics looking to extend their lead through Whanua, the winger, who can certainly run. Let's see if he can kick.
This is good. This is just to sustain pressure from Victoria. They've kept the pressure on ACT, and ACT have made a couple of mistakes and let them have this kick at goal. It's very quiet here. Yeah, lovely.
Lovely it is. Flags are up.
He can kick as well, Adam.
Whanua, the penalty conversion goes to. So Victoria now extend their lead to 8 with 25 minutes to play. ACT need to find something quick. Restart. Kicked it deep and taken well there by Victoria. They look to chance their arm straight away. Gee, they're the entertainers of this tournament. Good counteract by the ACT. Ball boggles out, but they've got the ball. And they go through Toole and Chin, who's come on at halfback. Good tackle there by Victoria. It's Carter again. He's been incredible in defence, this Victorian hooker. Here's Jimenez. Jimenez looks to go back on the inside. He's only a small kid, Jimenez, but gee, he throws around some big tin and bumps off some players. ACT motoring forward now through number 8, Rory Scott. Fed out well through Chin. Chin finds his 10 on back on the inside.
That's Crow there. They've made a replacement there. Pardon me. Crow on. Crow at number 10's been there. Oh, there he goes, the big man.
Oh, and it's try time, ACT. And he...
I think he's your hero, isn't he?
Yes,
it's Mr. Tritty, is it? Did he score that? Just getting confirmation.
Big Dritty, the number 8 / number 1 / number 7, the way he's getting around the field. But
there he is.
Dritty getting busy, and that ball back on the inside did most of the damage, and that was a good run by Mikaeli. And Dritty just said, well, I may as well take it from here. I'm not giving it to you backs anymore. I'm going over. And when he scores, he gives his opposition winger a little bit of a rub to the face. So they're back in it now, the ACT, with that 5-pointer. But
that's disappointing for the Victorians there, just taking their foot off the pedal, thinking that they went out to an 8-0 lead, and then the big man taking it into his own and just striding over. He'll replay that a few times, the big man. By the 11 o'clock tonight, it'll be from 60 metres out, won't it? They do like scoring the tries, the big men. Dritty, eh? I really like him, Adam. I really do like him.
He's been the standout for the ACT here this morning as Jimenez bangs it over. So just a 1-point game now. Victoria leading this one 8 points to 7. Adam Fry and Michael Doyle.
It was a good lead in from the 15 from ACT. It was a strong run. He carried a couple of people with him and got them on the front foot, and then it was left to 2 big men to get them the last 15 metres, and Dritty did it very well to score the try. So Victoria need to lift again.
Good take on the restart by the ACT. That's Kingma. Ball back, fed well. Stabbed down now by Isaac Crow. That's a good kick, which is held up well. I want to see this kid play. He decides to kick it out. But the exchange on that purse goes in the favour of the ACT, who get the 20-metre advantage.
Always like if you can get the ball back after scoring points in the opposition's half quickly, you can really build some pressure on them, and ACT has done that through a couple of good runs, a good kick.
Ball fed well now, and there's Chin, who's held up by Victorians. Liam Stone, the tackler, as the ACT go now back into the middle of the field, and Dritty is met well in a solid tackle by the 23 for the Vics. It's McGrover, who's had a sound game, the reserve fly half. ACT now using their strength just to pick and go forward. Here's Dritty again.
Can't keep him out of it.
He's doing well, the big prop. Now here comes the hooker in Efficatus, and now shifting out and doing the dancing. Here's Crow, who's met by the Victorians. So Good attack, but also met with some good defence. Very deep, the ACT, and Victoria coming off the line. Ball placed back. Here's Chin. Good length, good lines, and just dropped there, but the advantage was being played to the ACT. Let's have a listen in.
17 blue, offside.
Yep, I saw that. He was just too keen to get up in the line. The number 17 for Victoria, and he jumped the gates, as they say, Adam, and the assistant referees fed it to the man in the middle, and they were playing advantage there for the ACT. So this will be interesting what they decide to do here. Don't know, they're probably a little far out for their 15 to kick it. So they're going for touch, and that's what will put more pressure on the Victorians. They need to lift. The Victorians are a little bit flat after that try from ACT. They need to get in the faces of the ACT. The ACT big men are dominating there. And it was disappointing there for the ACT as Tio streamed onto a ball off a tip from his captain, and he knocked it on, and he was in some space. So we'll see as Victoria start to make some changes here, get some new cattle out there, some fresh legs.
And they'll need to stop this ACT side that are now motoring forward with this driving line out, looking very, very strong and dangerous here. They continue to motor forward, and that looks like they have. Have they been held up? Referee's right on the spot. He says no. Look for Dritty now. Dritty's pointing at the mark. They're all pointing at the mark. He's saying held up. So, no advantage.
Ooh. The ACT, number 2 there, was lying over the line with the ball. He's going to ask the question too.
And it's very rare that a hooker is ever wrong,
No,
Michael.
I've learnt that over the years, Adam, let me tell you.
Hey, Isaac.
But it's nice here.
So, just seeing the length, and you just asked some visuals there about the spine of a maul, and you want to kick that ball well out the back. It was beautifully set up. They're very good, the ACT, as a state, and even with the senior team. Set piece is always strong, and that's fed from the top. Laurie Fisher, the former coach, is now having an involvement across the whole organisation in set piece, and they're known to be entertainers, the Brumbies, but really, really sound in the set piece. And you're seeing that here this morning. These young ACT schoolboys that have fought their way back into this one, only trailing by a point, but all the momentum and advantage with them right now.
Yeah, no, as Adam's led to here, the forward pack of the ACT just having its effect on these Victorians. The Victorians are looking a bit tired to me, Adam. The forward pack, they've fought hard in the set piece, which, you know, people don't realise how much energy these things take. I've stood next to a lot of them, and the players come out of these things really after giving their all, physically exhausted. And a good scrum there by the Victorians, actually. Like but they're back on it now, the ACT, and the big... Yep, Dritty has just come into his own, the big man. That's his second try.
Dritty getting busy, and he has scored the ACT's second and his second for this morning. I'd like to look at some of the picks on that one. It was always destined to be a try. They're under a lot of pressure, the Victorians, but Dritty, you see him at the back here, lifting and now engaging. Let's just have a quick look to see what he does from here, Michael Doyle. He picks the ball up and stays connected to the scrum. I don't think that's actually legal, but he's got away with it, the big man, and he gets there. The referee was on the spot but didn't see the back of that scrum, which has me a little bit confused.
Yeah, no, I think you're right there. He should have disengaged himself. Once he picks it up, he's got to disengage himself. He can't use the other forwards as a shepherd, which he probably did there, and drove a couple more metres forward, which got him going forward, and then he revolved out of it. So a little bit of good play by Dritty to test the referee, test the laws of the game, and they get the 7 points.
Dritty, the try scorer, ACT get the conversion, so now the scoreline becomes interesting for Victoria, but Dritty also showing some innovation as well as some carry, but maybe he just wanted to go through the scrum. Maybe that was the challenge that he set himself. But we'll continue to go forward as ACT get out of their D zone with a nice little chip there from Crow, and it's Bit of an awkward bounce, but Victoria need to get back and start running again. And they do that through this great young winger for Ona. And Stone shifts it across to Carter and feeds well. Victoria back in control with the ball now. They haven't had it in this second half. Here's a difficult pass there. They're staying down this short side. They need to stay in field. They do. And where to next now for Victoria? Here's Hunt, who feeds it back to Carter. Carter shifts it off well. Good little play there by Kaylee. Pick and go by Victoria. Making some metres. That's better for the Vics. Hunt finds Carter. Carter. Good ball out the back and a great whack there, but they were able to get it away, Victoria. Here's Tuipulotu making some metres and finds the grass. It's a little bit isolated. Jimenez taking the space, but didn't keep his feet. So almost a great little play there by Jimenez. What are they going to do now, the Vics? Are they going to tap it or are they going to go to the set piece? A lot of chat out there. They decided to tap it. It's worked for them before. Here come Victoria. Down the middle of the field. Good strong carry there by Tuiala. And Hunt finds his runners and 10. And that's Kearns on the field now, who shifts it out. And Fonuna, who's been very good here this morning. Good carry now, the Vics, through Can Haim. Pick and go by Carter, who's held up. He's running to a brick wall there. And ACT have come in from the side, but that's okay. They've got some momentum back, the Vics, but ACT just too big and too strong.
Well, that's a tough penalty on the attacking side there. He's penalised them for coming in from the side to support the ball carrier who wasn't going to go to ground, and the Victorians were reacting quickly to that to try to drive him in, and he's got him for coming in from the side.
Yeah, let's have a look at that. I think it probably is the right call. And think about this tournament. It's not just for the players themselves. As we take a look here as the next pick and go. When does this clean out happen? Yeah, that's the right
19.
call.
Yep, you got it right. Good call.
As the knock on the line out. But just saying before, Michael, is the good young talent coming through, and schoolboys now referred to as under 18 schoolboys. But the referees also have an opportunity to test themselves and be looked at by the referee bosses to see how they're going, and if they can improve and take the next step in a shoot shield. And you've got, you know, rugby operations teams, and it's a really good tournament to sort of, not just for the players, but also for the staff and the people involved in rugby, even in coaches. And we've seen that before, players coming through, but also the coaches coming through the schoolboy system. So
yeah, I mean, that's what the game's all about, isn't it? Giving opportunity, giving pathways to people, and it's match officials, it's coaches, it's managers, and most importantly, it's the players. But it is a great carnival for that, and giving opportunity to step up and prepare these teams and look after them.
And of course, important for commentators, Michael Doyle, my guest here today. So Victoria now doing their best to hang in this one. They're down by 6. Good tackle there. And straight to his feet. I think that's Tuipulotu. And you can hear the Victorian bench going nuts here, but they're hanging on. But the ACT are playing some good footy too, the ACT. Here's Chin, who finds it and just whack. Drops the ball. He was always dropping that when Tuipulotu come out of that line.
That was Lambert Crichton, and he's playing really well. He's having a real crack for Victoria. I like him. He's strong, he's solid, and he's turned that ball over for Victoria and given them the ball in a really good attacking spot here. So we will see what Victoria can do. We need them to be the next team to score and really make this game come alive. Oh, that's a massive scrum. Oh, wow.
Almost said don't tap it. Here they go, Victoria, as they take it wide now. That's Tuipulotu, is it? Yes, it is. Carts forward, ball at the back, shifts to 1. Now they're going to chance their arm. Good strong carry here by Victoria. Back on the insides, their fullback Hobbs. Hobbs very similar to Jimenez in the way he plays. Balls at the back. Fed well by David. Bounce pass, Carter, who shifts it on now. Victoria looking good through Ken Haim. Balls at the back and pilfered by the ACT. So one out running, killing Victoria. A lot of turnovers in this A zone for them. Ooh, bit of argy-bargy there too, Michael Doyle.
Yeah,
tensions.
the big man didn't like that. He got himself a little bit isolated and got away from his players, and they were a little slow to react to him going to ground. He probably could have fought a little harder to go to ground there and given his support players a little more time. He used his feet well to get himself through the defence. You'll see him there, lovely feet, gets himself through, but he gets himself isolated, and the penalty given by the ACT. Good response by ACT. They flew in there, didn't they? They saw an opportunity, and they were all over the agate.
And
getting the penalty.
Commentators are being peppered by footballs today. Michael Doyle copping another one.
That's two. Things happen in threes, don't they?
Well, that football must have some spiders or spikes on it or something, because every time it goes close to you...
I've handled the ball more today, Adam, than I did in my whole career. So.
As we continue with play, ACT now and Britty in that midfield, carrying the ball as he's done so well this morning. Ball at the back, like it's made a change at 9. Yes, it is. Atkins is back on, who ACT, but the flag's up. So unlimited interchange here has caused the rhythm of the ACT to be out a little bit, but Victoria now have the ball, and be interested to see how this line out goes, because they've had opportunities to plug the corner. You build so much pressure by just snookering the ball in the corner and playing that line out. And they have gone for the quick tap every time. Maybe they don't have much faith in their line out, but it seems to be going okay at the moment. The ball's gone over the back. Knock back, says the referee. Taken well by David. David keeps driving forward. Ball stripped back. ACT with the ball now.
No.
Find the ball on the ground.
It's the right call there. What will they do? They look for the tap. Here comes Kearns, who wants the ball. Kearns looking at the sideline. Of course, the son of NRL great, Robbie Kearns. Hope he's listening today. Robbie Kearns, the Melbourne Storm legend.
I didn't think that he'd be Philip's son playing at 5'8". Philip Kearns.
Oh, no.
No.
About to say, no, that wouldn't work.
Yes.
No, they're a good rugby family, the Kearns. I know he's very proud of his boys playing rugby.
Plays down at the Mossman Club.
That's Phil Kearns.
Yes, Phil Kearns'
I'm talking
son.
about Robbie Kearns.
Yes,
though.
no, I was just saying
But
that
I'm
he
sure
wouldn't
Phil
be playing
Kearns.
at 5'8".
Yes,
Yes.
I got that.
Yeah, we're a little slow to pick it up. It's a
I
hard
got it.
It's a hard audience, but we're going okay. We'll get back. But Robbie, yes, did you get amongst Robbie down in Melbourne when you were down there, Adam?
He's a good man, and he's also got a very talented young footballer in Kai, as Vic look to go back down the short side. They do through. Here's Kai Kearns with the delivery of Rooston, who's pretty much just run straight in the touch. So it's enterprising play, but it's also great defence by the ACT, who now find themselves with a 6-point lead with just on 7 minutes of play to go. Defensive line out now. You see the Vics really looking to try and pilfer this ball.
It was disappointing by the big number 1. He just got dragged into the best defender in the game, the sideline.
Yeah, that's right. But the ball now is knocked forward. I thought the referee may have missed that, but he might have got the call from his touch judge. So this is very interesting now. Victoria centrefield scrum. 6 minutes to play, and they have the ball. Brumby's set piece has been very good this morning, but it's just that loose pass. They say a bounce pass in footy is the most dangerous, and it's the most dangerous either way. It can disrupt the defence, or it can cause havoc like it has here, Michael Doyle. So we've got a scrum midfield. Hunt to feed it in. ACT scrums dominated this morning.
Kearns on the right here with his full back line outside him, with the full back down this left side.
Ball spits out. Here's Kearns, who's...
And a bouncing ball at him. There it is again.
You can't be too upset with the kid there. It was at his feet. He went straight over his halfback, gave him a bit of love, but that's just pressure from the ACT scrum and given that.
Hunt coming back onto the field, just taking a moment to settle himself down into the game. I think it's they're looking for Hunt and Kearns to bring themselves back into this game. And their big centre pairing. They need to get them the ball and get them the ball going forward. So we'll see as ACT, once again, coming out of their own territory, working hard.
Good scrum by the ACT. Vic's hanging in there. Use it now, says the referee. They get it back. Atkins finds Well, who bangs it through, but taken well by Fanua, who finds the ball. Good long place. Need to shift the ball now. They do. And they cart it through Hunt, who finds his forwards streaming down the middle.
They've moved Fanua to fullback here, Adam, to get him more into the game, to get him on both sides of the field, because he has been very good.
He certainly has. Here's David, who carts it forward. The ball spills out. Not back, says the referee. Here comes Victoria. Here's Fanua, who stops and starts and makes some metres. Down his short side again. Hunt chancing his arm as they looking all right now, Victoria, but they need to make some metres as Kearns gives it off to Canhaim, who's really had some touches this last 10 minutes. The lock forward. Hunt feeds it. Tuipulotu shifts it out wide. Beautiful pass, but he's just not been able to handle it. They'll go back for the penalty. You know, this is where they need to snooker this ball, get it right in the pocket. Kearns grabbing the ball, get it out of the halfback's hands, because he'll tap it and go.
Yeah.
What do they do here now, Nick Doyle? They've got
a score here, 14-8. I think they're going for the points to bring themselves just a little closer.
Interesting decision there. I don't know if 3 points is going to give you too much love, but...
Well, they've been down here for a while. You know, take the points, get back down there and see. But I'm not totally sure that this penalty goal, I think I would have tried to keep the pressure on the ACT side, use my big men off a line out and see if we could get some of the big centres. They seem to be getting a bit more of a combination at the back now with the movement of the players, with Fanua going to fullback and Hobbs coming out on this left wing. They've just looked a bit more settled, the Victorian side out wide. So I hope this doesn't bring the ACT back into the Victorian area. But they're backing themselves, the Victorians, to score the points, take the points when they're on offer. And it's this man, Fanua, again, to take this kick.
Well, I don't know if 3 points plus 3 points is going to do them any favours, but let's have a look. It'll be worthwhile if it goes over, and it does. So 2.5 minutes of play here. Victoria trailing this one by 3 points. And they'll need to get back down there quick, smart, and play for either a draw or look to score a try. Adam Fry, Michael Doyle here for Rugby.com.au for all the schoolboy action. Stay tuned here throughout the day and Saturday for the finals as ACT kick it back and recover well, but tackled into touch. It was a shank of a kick, but it was effective.
Well, Victoria just let that ball bounce off the kickoff. You've got to go to that and claim it. They were lucky that the number 8 for the ACT got it and was off balance, and they could put him into touch. This is a very important line out here in the spectrum of the game. Victoria under pressure in the line out. Let's see what they can do.
Here's Carter. Finds his man at the back, and a good throw and a good set piece by Victoria. And here comes, is that Tuipulotu?
Yeah.
No, here goes Hunt, and Hunt's taken down high. Referee hasn't seen it, but they continue to move it forward. He rolls forward like a commando. Here come Victoria. Just on 2.5 to go. Good carry here by the Vics. They're looking very dangerous now in centre field. Is he isolated? Ball's over the back. Causing some friction there, the ACT. Here comes Carter. Carter, beautiful hands by the hooker to David. And now the Vics, this 3 points, Mick Doyle could be the right call. Yes. 30 metres out. Kearns feeds it on and finds the middle for the Vics. Isolated there, ball to his feet, finds Hunt. Hunt gets it to Kearns. Kearns with all the jinking and jiving gets through, met well by ACT in defence. And there's the advantage to the ACT, but they're going to play the advantage through Carter. They know they've got 3 points in them. Carter's had a very strong game, the hooker from Victoria. Kearns at halfback now. Who finds down this short side? Who's that? 13. It's end-to-end stuff here. Can the Vics cause the upset of the tournament? Last year's champions. Here's Hunt. Hunt feeds it on to Carter. Carter finds the 8. He's going strong to the line now. The captain falls short. 5 metres out now. Here comes Kearns. Kearns finds Carter. He deserves a try, the hooker. Can he get there? No. 2 metres out now, Victoria. Got to find the line. They go wide. Here's David reaching out. Can he get there? Metre short. Great defence by the ACT. Short side open, no one there. Kearns goes in at halfback. Can they do it, Victoria? Boggle ball there, taken well. Brought down now. Here's good tackle by the ACT. Kearns throws it across. Can they do it? Fona popped up the top there. Captain gets the ball down. No penalties can be taken here. Minute to go. Victoria with all the ball, all the momentum. Stone feeds it on, throws it over the top. One to beat now, the Vics. Can they get through? Goes back on the inside. It's Hobbs. Hobbs finding the ball. Good long ball place. Gets it back to Hunt. Hunt jinks, finds the referee, bumps into him. Throws it out now to Carter. Carter back on the inside. It's Carhan. Ball's there. They've got the advantage now, Vics. If they can find it, they go wide. Now out to, is it Crichton? It is. They're going backwards though, Vics. Kearns back in there. Good strong run by Hoskins, who's met well by the ACT. Looking for the counter ruck off their feet. Ball's at the back. 15 seconds to go. You can hear the clock ticking. Victoria, can they get the upset of the tournament? They go out wide now to Carham. Jackled onto the ball. Here's Hunt. Hunt finds Rooston, who's met well. Got to get that ball back. He does. Long ball plays. Victoria dribbled through, picked up. Well, no, but knocked on. So Victoria.
What a disappointment. 18 plus phases there by the Victorians. What superb defence by the ACT, and there it is.
Good game of footy, though, and I do tip my hat to the Victorians, but the winners on the day, the ACT, who defended incredibly well, weren't at their best.